specific tools or innovations has Amuse developed to help artists build and engage their fan base then?
So the two features we're shipping now, or like within a couple of months of each other, is a fan email collection tool that is, I think, the most fundamental thing you need in this space. Like when you ask someone to pre-save a song or something, if you can collect their email address at the same time, you can at least reach out to them in the future if you want to give them like early bird access to a gig or have specific merch for your fan club or something. That is an area we intend to build upon a lot, like having more channels and so on. But fundamentally, the email addresses is what we decided was like the most critical things to collect there. And then secondly, a kind of pre-save link on steroids or something. I'm not sure how you we should run this by the PR part of Amuse first,
Yeah.
like the branding, but it's essentially a pre-save link that captures the consent of fans if they opt in to pre-save future releases for an artist.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I mean, we believe so. So if you're an artist, you will have run into the situation where you ask someone to pre-save your song and people say like, why would I pre-save your song? Like, tell me when it's live and I'll listen to it. It's a very disheartening process and it's confusing for people. It's confusing for the artist also. Many, I'd say, wouldn't even know what it really is for. And what it is for and why it's so important is that this essentially ensures that the people who pre-save your song, all of those fans, the release when it's live will show up in there on Spotify, especially in their like radio and Discover Weekly and these algorithmic playlists. Allegedly, like no one knows how Spotify set up their algorithm for algorithmic playlisting, but the more attention a release gets on the release drop or like on the release day, the more success usually you will see in algorithmic placement. So the more people that is automatically already listening to your song because they pre-saved it will increase your chances, right? That way of optimizing playlists, I think, is a lot more straightforward and like guaranteed reward than paying someone to put your song on their playlist. But the problem, again, is that you will have to, like every single release, you will go to a fan, you will tell them like, hey, can you pre-save this? They'll get confused. And then you have to do it all over next time. And what this is like accumulating those pre-saves if the fan is willing to allow us to pre-save on their behalf in the future. But that ensures that, like, if you're running a meta campaign ad that is super expensive and trying to get people to pre-save, that is not only for a specific release, but it's something that will last in the long run. So you could, switch the audience for the next campaign you do. So it's more of a long-term thing and will cost you less, I guess, to get the fans and pre-saves you're after.
Yeah, that's really good. And also, I feel like that will help because, so many artists do pre-save competitions.
Yeah.
It will like make room for those to be even bigger and for them to do more because they're pre-saving essentially their future releases as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's hard for me to advise on like the specific marketing strategy. I think that's so detailed. Like, I mean, there are a couple of like common rules that anyone should follow, but depending on your genre or, if you're playing a lot live, if you have merch, maybe you have like a team promoter or like a booking agent or something, like it depends so much on how you should run your marketing. But regardless of any setup you have, I think most people will be interested in making whatever investment they do last in terms of saved fans that they can reach out to again, or that will automatically pre-save your song in the future. So any release basically you put out there will have a very good chance to making it on more Spotify algorithmic placements.
Could you walk us through how an artist would use these tools and like get involved with the new tools to build their fan bases?
When you put out the release through Amuse, there will be a section in what we call the release builder, which is basically like the form or the interface where you enter all the details about your release. There will be a section there that basically talks about the web page or pre-saves or this area of Amuse. And depending on which tier you're on or like subscription plan you're on, you will see a couple of different options. If you're on our professional tier, you will have access to both fan email collection and autosaves. So there you can like kind of opt in, and then that's basically all you need to do. If you tick those boxes, then that link will, when you share it with users, it will have both the option of entering the email address from the user, but also this kind of like toggle where users can opt in to pre-saving all the future pre-saves until they tell us not to.
Yeah. Well, great. It's nice and simple. It's a really great idea. And I feel like it's really growing the position of Amuse, seeing it as more than just a distribution company, you know?
No, exactly. I agree. As I said, like I feel like we've already nailed or are nailing the final fundamentals of being the best distribution service, purely distribution. We are the fastest already. I think we have one of the best customer supports that is only getting better. And looking beyond that, I think a lot of our competitors might have maybe jumped the gun a little bit on some of these promotional services. Personally, I've used some of them myself in like my private music career. Maybe I don't know, but like my personal product basically. I'm not always super impressed by it. It seems like it's falling short a little bit, and we really try to select the things that we truly believe in, where we think that it will make a difference. And I think these two features is exactly that. And it's also like just the beginning of this promotional area. I think hopefully we can sit down and discuss in like 6 months or a year or something, and this area will be one of our like most fundamental pillars at Amuse.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like fans are only getting more and more important, aren't they, to artists. So building on that and using these features is going to be really helpful for a lot of independent artists.
Yeah, I hope so.
No,
I
definitely.
know so. I know so.
You know so.